Happy New Year. Welcome to the first webinar, NESG Academy webinar for 2025. I wish you a great year ahead. And especially, I would like to welcome our guest speaker, Mr. Yemi Faseun. Mr. Yemi Faseun will be speaking on vision casting for the year. I will read through Mr. Yemi's profile, and you will agree with me that he is the best person to handle this topic. This is the time of the year when a lot of people, individuals, groups, organizations, and businesses redefine vision and also cast the vision to their people, to their stakeholders. We trust Mr. Faseun to do justice to the topic. Reading his profile, with 33 years of multi-sector and multi-function experience, Yemi is the Chief Talent Officer at WAHEV Talent Partners, an HR culture and leadership advisory firm. He works with clients to drive the talent and business transformation agenda, focusing on end-to-end people management, culture, and leadership initiatives to meet the demands of the now of work. He is also a board advisor, a non-executive director, a leadership culture and HR consultant, and a great workplaces advocate. He leads unusual, mind-shifting conversations that challenge the status quo and inspire change. He has received multiple global recognitions from his impact and influence in the HR and leadership space. The latest being the LinkedIn Top Leadership Development Voice Badge in April 2024. He's passionate about lighting candles behind so that others can easily find their path to success. He is the founder of the WAHEV platforms, which provide personal leadership and business development mentoring and opportunities for professionals and entrepreneurs across the world. He is an author and he loves Mondays. Welcome with me, Mr. Yemi Faseun. We are happy to have you and we thank you for honoring our invitation. The floor is yours to speak to us on the topic vision casting.
Okay, Bemi, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. These days we need to be conscious of the fact that people could be anywhere. So it's nice to be here. Please confirm that you can hear me very well.
Yes, sir.
Yes, we can hear you. It's breaking, but yes, we can hear you.
Oh, wow. Is it from my end that it's breaking? Let me see if I need to change my network. But is it okay now?
It's okay, sir. Can hear you clearly.
Okay.
Confirm. If it's fine with you, then that means it's fine.
Yes, it's pretty clear from my hand, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay. Now, yes, I found what I was looking for. Okay, so Baby, when you were reading the intro, you were saying that I'm the best person to do this. I don't think so. I have also come to learn from other people, right? I am not the best person. Yes, I do have conversations like this with organizations. As a matter of fact, I'm on my way to IIT in Ibadan. I told you, baby, because I have a leadership retreat with a client today. The reason I'm still in Lagos right now is because of this engagement, because I don't want to get caught on the road and not able to do this. So yes, it's a good time. If you ask me though, I think it is late in the day for anyone to be saying that we want to cast the goal for 2025. And I'm very serious about that. It's late. The best time to have done this will have been towards the end of last year. Maybe middle of the last quarter of last year, as the year was winding down, and then we start thinking of another year in view. But whether you like it or not, some people have collected salary for January already. At least I know 2 organizations. I know Stanbic and I know AVN Quest, baby. It's still our alma mater, right? It's January is the 20th of every month. So First Bank, AVN Quest, Stanbic, those 3 organizations, they've already collected salary for this year. So what I'm saying is that the year is already going very fast. We thought there was going to be there were going to be 72 days in January after 30 December. But this 2025 is showing us that it's going to be a very, very fast year. I would say to some people that we are in January 53rd right now. And the person said, no, this is one of the fastest Januaries ever. And I tend to believe so. Where I'm going, ladies and gentlemen, is the fact that we are already getting late to set our goals, to cast our vision for 2025. But the good news is that the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago, but the next best time is now. So we're late, but we're not too late. I will be disappointing a couple of people in the room because I do not have slides to share. I think this is a conversation to have rather than having a theoretical slide transition engagement. For those who may be familiar with my style of engagement, if I can help it every time, I try to not focus on slides. I try to focus on experiential learning. I try to focus on conversations, you know what I mean? And that's what I'm going to do this afternoon. So if you have questions as we go, you can note your questions and then we will come back to it at some point. So how are we doing? Let me start by engaging the room. Tell me in the chat room, how has 2025 been for you already? Anyone wants to share? How's 2025 been for you? Anyone? 2025. How would you describe your 2025 already? It's looking promising. I like that. Looking promising already. That's good. Any other person? That's Ademola Adesalu. I hope I pronounced that very well. Looking promising. Lots of energy, aura for aura. Yeah, that's the thing for this year. It came with loads of energy. That's correct. Yeah. What else? 2025. It's been 21 days already. We are in the 22nd day right now. You are approaching the year with great anticipation. Biodun, awesome. That's good. Who else? I want to read a bit more from you guys. Was off to a bit of a slow start, but things are looking up now. Right, blessing, that's good. Happy to hear that. I like looking up things with a greater mindset and a greater mentality. Awesome. Jennifer, your professional life is looking like it is going in the right direction. I like that. It's great to be able to say that in the first month of the year. Stimulating and looking up to a great year. Awesome. Adequate of Etuga, thank you for that. A couple of responses more, and then I'll kick off quickly. Yep. Any more? Taking it slowly. Started with a great opportunity. Something tells me that Ojulari is thrilled to share that he has started a new job. Should we use the language? Should we use the language of LinkedIn? I am thrilled to share. I'm excited to share that the year is starting with great opportunity. Who else? 1, 2 more, and then we'll go. Yes. Talk to me. Also slow for Amanda as you extended your break, but now you are ready to go, ready to move. Nice. I like that. I hope nobody has said that they are hitting the ground running. I always say that be careful when you hit the ground running because the floor may be slippery. The floor may just be slippery. Be careful how you hit the ground running. All right. Thank you very much, everyone. Thanks for your responses. It's been an interesting year. from my perspective as well, since you all shared, I think it's just appropriate that I share as well. 2025 rolled off for me quickly on the 3rd from a work perspective. I thought I was going to have the first week of the year to rest, given all the activities of last year. But by the 3rd, I already started my first client engagement by the 3rd of January, which was a Friday. And then on Saturday, I was with another client for the whole day. So 2 days back to back, 3rd, the 4th, the 8th, another client, and it's been back to back engagement to the end of the month already. And the reason I'm asking is just so that we're already taking cognizance of the year that we have started already. And I am so sure, I mean, something tells me 100% that it is not everyone I am speaking with at this moment who has not done a vision casting for the year. I am sure that a couple of people in the room will have done it. So it's an opportunity for us to just do a kind of evaluation for those who have done it and see if we are somewhat on track. And then for those who haven't done it at all, like I said, this is the next best time to do it. That is the essence of this engagement, to speak with two categories in the audience. Those who have done it and do a sense check of what you have done. And those who haven't done, to say that as soon as we finish this session, the first thing you want to do is to do a vision board, a vision casting for the year. Because life will yield to you based on what you demand from it. Life will yield to you based on what you demand from it. If you don't demand anything by December, you won't get anything. Rather than saying Happy New Year in 2026, you probably will be saying Happy another year. And by logical extension, what it means is that many of us may have said Happy New Year already, but nothing really is looking new about this year. It's looking like another year. And that's because we have moved into that cyclical mode of one year into another without getting ready, and the year also not getting ready for us. So we've got a unique opportunity at this moment to say, I have done 21 days. This is the 22nd day. For the next 11 months, what do I want to get out of 2025? More or less, we want to send 2025 on an errand to go get for us what we envisage for ourselves in 2025. And like something I have said in the past, that our words, our thoughts, the things we harbor in our minds, they are like raw materials. We send those words and thoughts to the universe. The universe will take them as raw materials to manufacture our realities. And periodically in the course of the year, those realities are delivered to us through the opportunities that will come our way. So, what are you about to send to the universe as your raw material to create your realities for 2025? And I'm going to just touch on a couple of points as you now get ready to cast your vision or to do a sense check of the vision you already cast. Don't go blindly into 2025 without first assessing where you are at the moment or how you ended 2024. And I'm going to leave you with 5 questions that I always challenge my clients with when I talk about especially culture and change. I'll leave you with 5 questions so that you can do an assessment of your as-is situation, where you are at the moment or how you ended 2024. The first thing I want you to ask yourself is, what worked for you in 2024? What worked? Be very frank and have a full no holds barred conversation with yourself as you answer those questions. Number 1, what worked? Number 2, what didn't work? And please, can I just advise you that as you're answering those questions, do not start thinking about external situations alone. Start looking at those questions first from a self perspective. So when I say what worked, meaning what did I do right? Number one, forget about the economy. Forget about Tinubu for a second. Forget about American election for a second. Everybody is going over about what's the guy's name? The current president. Yes, I know. I just didn't want to mention his name of the US. Everybody is going on and on about him. But the question is, how is it affecting you? How did the US election impact you? How did the economy in Nigeria, locally, globally, the war in Ukraine, all the things that you gave your energy to in 2024, what worked for you as an individual? And I'm deliberate about my choice of words. The things that you gave your energies to, the things you argued and screamed about on X, on social media, on Facebook and all that, how did those things, what worked for you? If you had goals for 2024 at the beginning of 2024, what worked for you to achieve those goals? The question, next one is, what didn't work? And another way to ask that question from a self perspective is, what didn't I do right? What worked? What did I do right? What did I do well? What did I get better at? What didn't work? What did I suck at? What did I not do well? What did I keep procrastinating? What positive things did I not give my energies to the point that I can achieve my objective? Let me give you an example. And I like to tell stories about my own experiences and also share from other people's experiences. Everybody was screaming about inflation rate last year. Oh, it was 36%. Then it was 39%. Oh, we don't even know if the Nigerian Institute of Nigerian Bureau of Statistics, if they were right or not. It should be 45 by now. So many people were giving their energies to all of that. Can I tell you what I gave my energy to in 2025? I was looking for opportunities to reduce the impact of inflation rates on my own personal economy. I'll say that again. Whilst people were focusing on the negativities around the economy, the inflation rate and all that, things that I didn't have control over anyway, I was focusing my own energy on, okay, it's at 36 or 39 or 45. What can I do to reduce the impact of that on me? And like I said, my personal economy. And I went out looking, I was listening to people, I was reading, I was looking for opportunities. So from an investment perspective, I realized that money market investment in Nigeria between July or maybe May and December of 2024, same 2024, was returning to investors at about between 20 and 23% month on month. So rather than focusing on what I didn't have control over, inflation rate, cost of goods and all that, I refocused or redirected my energies on what I had control over, how to channel my investment so that I can reduce the impact of the inflation rate on me. So rather than complain about 36, I was left with 36 minus 23, if you know what I mean, right? So that worked for me. By the end of last year, believe me, I promise you, it really worked for me. So what worked? What did you do well? What didn't work? What didn't you do well? So what could you have done better? What do you have to stop doing? And what do you have to continue doing? You've got to start with an assessment of where you are now or how you ended 2024. Otherwise, you are trying to do a vision casting blindly. And that's some sort of an oxymoron. If you know, very, very paradoxical. You want to cast a vision for 2025, but you are already blindsiding yourself from your current situation. That is your start point. a review of your current situation. That's your number one. You got to get, before you can gain clarity about the future, you've got to gain clarity about where you're coming from. Otherwise, you know, what will happen is if you don't do that, then you are likely to start the same cycle all over again. And that's what you don't want to do. There is a new definition, maybe not a new definition, but there's a definition of insanity. And that is doing the same things over and over and expecting a different result. Just so that we don't go into 2025, as it were, like those who are insane, let's not go into 2025 repeating the same things that didn't work for us in 2024. That's the essence of this assessment and review. What worked, and largely, I'll say it again, from a personal perspective, what worked, what didn't work, what should I do better, or what didn't I do well, what could I have done better, what should I have started doing, and then what did I stop doing that should have worked for me? You've got to do a review. Let's not kid ourselves. We all go through moments of regret. Some actions that we should have taken that will have worked. Some actions that we took that we shouldn't have taken. You got to calm your mind down first. I understand all that. I said to you that I'm going to IITA. I mean, there is a start to that journey. The start to that journey is where I am right now. Before I even hit the road, or if I'm traveling by air or going by train, there is a point where I am now, and there's a point where I want to go. But the point is, assess where you are at the moment. Number two, I'll say that please gain clarity about 2025 before you do your vision boarding or vision casting. Gain clarity. And what I mean by gaining clarity from my perspective is, if anybody knows how businesses work in terms of strategy for a year or for 2 years or a longer term, there are things that we call assumptions: environmental, economic assumptions, financial assumptions. And the essence of all of that is so that we can gain clarity about our strategy or our vision. So gain clarity about 2025, understand what is happening about the budget, for instance. And I'm not saying you should go and get the budget of Nigeria and spend 3 months to read it and understand it. Go for the highlights, because whether we like it or not, those things will impact you. Believe me, from gaining clarity perspective, I have an idea of what the exchange rate will be on the streets of Nigeria by March, April of this year. I have an idea of what the exchange rate will be by August, September of this year on the streets, irrespective of what it may be from an official perspective. And how did I come into that? Because I was asking questions, trying to gain clarity, because those things may have an impact on, for instance, my investment, for instance, my business. So before you settle down to say, this is my vision, these are my goals for 2025, first gain clarity about the political situation, the economic situation, the environmental factors, everything around you. Gain clarity around it. Please give yourself to research. Give yourself to reading. I know LBS, for instance, churns out every month a monthly review of the economy. How many of us in this room go through those things? Again, I'm not saying read them like you have an exam based on them. No, but just checking the highlights. Let me give you another example. As far back as 2000 and not 2000, as far back as 2015, I knew that the USD was going to come to 1,000 naira to the dollar as far back as 2015, 2016. And this was because I was listening to economists as they were doing extrapolations about the future. And guess what I did? I took an investment position based on that. I may not be able to go into details in terms of that. I took an investment position based on that. And then in 2022, going into 2023, when that crystallized, believe me, I was the better for it. So what are the experts saying about 2025 as it affects the economy where you are situated or located? What are the experts saying? What is the economy looking like? What is the population looking like? What is power saying? The national grid has been collapsing almost every week. Believe me, between when I started this session and now, we've had power outage already. You know what I mean? What's the implication? Do I therefore need to look at solar? What I'm just saying is, I'm giving you very basic examples, but you can take these examples, you can elevate them to higher platforms in terms of gaining clarity about what 2025 is going to be like. Believe me, like I said, don't go blindly into this year. Gain clarity. After you got information from here, from there, whatever you can read up, whatever research you can do, then you need to start articulating your vision and your goals. You must have them articulated. Baby, can I be vulnerable? Can I be honest with the audience? I am not one of those people who actually write down goals. I'm not going to lie to you. But I am always mentally articulating my goals. Please, I'm not saying all the 53 people listening to me now, John Yemi said, YF said he doesn't write goals. So what's the point of writing goals? Don't go there. Don't do that, right? My approach has worked for me. It's not that I don't document, but I have documented mentally over the years. I'm not kidding you. And people have said that, oh, things we write down, they are a lot better. I totally agree. In fact, when I was in school, believe me, the way I read was I read my books and I must use my own handwriting to take down notes from either the lecturer's notes or from textbook. I must use my own handwriting, and that becomes my review notes during exams, and it works perfectly for me. But on this goal matter, right, it just stays here for me. So if you are not like me, where your goals will stay mentally, please document. Despite the fact that I'm saying that I may not document goals, see, this is my notebook. I still have a notebook where I jot things down every day, number one. And then on my phone, my apps note is full. I have over 3,000 things that I journal, that I have journaled over 3,000 different things that I've journaled over the years. And what journaling allows you to do is it allows you to also refresh when you revisit. That's the idea of documenting or articulating your vision. But remember what we said, assessment, where are we coming from? Number two, gain clarity around all the externalities that may impact your vision or your goal. Gain clarity. Don't come blindly from the past into the present, and don't go blindly into the future without understanding or gaining clarity. And then we're at the point where we're saying articulate. Write it down. The vision, like some people say, or it's been documented somewhere, our visions are for appointed times. So write it down. What we document has a way of running us, if you know what I mean. They become something that is become a powerful driving force behind us. Number 4, communicate your goals. The first person who needs to get that communication from you periodically from time to time is yourself. You've got to communicate that goal to yourself regularly, every time. What do I need to do? What did I say I will do? Where am I? Don't forget to constantly speak to yourself. Communicate. There's something about communication. It reinforces the will to achieve. Yesterday, I was still with 2 of my friends, and we're talking about 2024. And then I was talking to them about 2025. And then I was talking about my goals and the things that I already have planned for 2025. They couldn't but notice the passion with which I was saying it. You know what I mean? Because they are inspirational. One of them actually said, wow, you're so passionate about it. I said, yeah, that's what you should do. It should drive you, but first communicate it with yourself. From time to time, reinforcing the fact that you are suspending disbelief about the thing that you want to achieve. And then communicate to other people. But this is where I'm going to leave you with a caveat. Communicate your goals with other people, but be careful that if your goals or your vision, that one vision, is as tall as 6 feet, don't share them with dwarfs. If you have 6-foot vision or dreams, don't share them with those you consider as dwarfs. You know what they will do? They will cut you to their own size. So communicate, but be careful who you are communicating with. Communicate with those who will encourage you. Communicate with those who will share your journey, your dream with you. Communicate with like minds. Communicate with those in your inner circle. Don't go put your vision board on LinkedIn. No, not necessary. Don't go put it on Facebook. I mean, we talk about the thing we want to achieve a lot and we put it on social media. Those things are for private consumption. They're just there to ginger you, to use a local parlance, so to encourage you, and then within a small circle, to also allow other people to encourage you. So communicate, but be careful who you are communicating with. If you can, get a vision board. Vision boarding is extremely powerful. It's just a one slide, one picture, one page thing that just summarizes all the things you are looking to achieve in 2025. And what it does for you is one glance at it, it gives you, it serves as a reminder from time to time, a periodic reminder. So get a board, get a vision board, and populate it from time to time. Number 6, I'll say have a vision statement. For those who may be following me on maybe WhatsApp, from time to time, I'm always talking about 3 things. I'm talking about purpose, I'm talking about passion, and I'm talking about people. So I'm about 3 Ps. Purpose, the things that I do, I want to accomplish without necessarily getting paid for it. So I've got a network, the YF network. That for me is, excuse me, from a purpose perspective. I've got an academy, the YF Academy, where we mentor young people 0 to 5 years experience virtually for 6 months. We are in quad 5, meaning we are in the 5th year at the moment. That for me is purpose, and it is free of charge. We don't charge a dime for anybody to go through that mentorship program for 6 months. That's purpose. I have a smaller group that I call Boys to Men, where young boys within the professional space are in my inner circle, right? Again, I'm just passionate about, I'm just creating purpose about the things, excuse me, about the things that I need to do, because what is driving me is making a difference primarily. I'm just sharing my own with you. And then the next one I said is passion. And believe me, so before I go on to passion, what I'm doing right now, Bemi nailed me down since September last year and said, well, January 2025, we need to have a session on casting a vision for 20. And I'm like, Auntie, we are in September. And she was already, yes, but it's been decided it was going to be January. I'm like, okay, sure, why not? I didn't even have an idea what my January 22nd was going to be like. I didn't have an idea that I was going to be going to Ibadan to go spend 2-3 days with a client, but I signed on to it almost immediately because purpose just drives us as well, right? And then passion for me is the things that I enjoy doing, I totally love doing. I can do it for free, but I do it to make money. Things that I am passionate about to make money from. So YF Talent Partners is the enterprise that I run, and we are into HR, leadership, culture, consulting. For me, that represents passion. The client who says, let's go to Ibadan, the client that say, Yemi, we're not paying you anything, but hey, we need a leadership retreat. We need you to come and talk to our leaders so that we can change our workplaces. I'm not kidding you. I may actually just go, even if they don't pay me to do it. But the clients themselves realize that this is what I do for a living now. So yes, they won't pay. But I'm saying that it may get to the point where you do some things. If you're looking for passion and maybe a fusion of passion and purpose, look for the things that you can do for free, joyfully, right? And then last, I said people. And then this is how I have crafted my own personal vision statement, and it drives me from year to year. My goals derive from this. I said, helping people to define, refine, and find or create purpose. You see what I mean? So there's passion in there, there's people in there, and of course, it's lending to purpose. So what's your own vision statement? Your vision statement doesn't have to be only for 2025. Vision statements are usually for long term, but they will now drive your goals for 2025 and beyond. Now, let me backtrack and go back to number 3 in terms of articulating and documenting your goals. In 2023, by January 2023, I had what I call my big, hairy, audacious goal from a business perspective, right? I had a figure in mind to close 2023 with, and I had that figure in mind by January 2023. I'm not kidding you, by November of 2023, that was achieved. That was my BHAG. That was my main goal for that year, I promise you. And when I saw that, wow, in November, by early November, I had achieved that, I was like, okay, going into 2024, I'll become more bullish in terms of that particular goal. And it is sitting within the financial side of life. So in 2024, early 2024, what I did was to be bullish, and I gave myself a target of what I thought was what I'm very, very daring. By end of November last year, we did the analysis, and that was achieved. So what I've done this year is to triple. Let's see what happens by the end of 2025. Now, let me say 2 things quickly. The fact that you document either mentally like me or on your phone, in a notebook, under your bed, on a piece of paper, the fact that you document doesn't mean that you will achieve 100% of your goals for a particular year. But there was something I said, I think it was in 2019. Let me quickly see if I can find it. I launched it recently, and it was at a session, a focus conference. And I said, having a focus is not an end in itself, but it's a great start. Having a focus is not an end in itself, but it's a great start. And by that, I mean that you may not achieve 100% of the things you document, but guess what? They will drive you towards a 70%, an 80%, a 90%, and if possible, 100, or even 120%. Compare that with an individual who has no idea. I said to you guys, I'm on my way to Ibadan. So I know exactly, I'll just put it on GPS, Ibadan, IIT. I have a direction. But somebody else leaves and says, I'm going out, no destination. If the individual finds himself in Kano or Kaduna, it's okay, because there is no destination, there is no focus. So having a focus, documenting is great, but please don't quote me by December this year to say, this guy said we should document, I think we're going to achieve 100%. I did not achieve 100% of my goals for last year. And if anyone read my post of, I think 2 or 3 weeks ago, I think it was my very first post of this year on LinkedIn, I did say that it was okay to not achieve all our goals. But I promise you that if you have casted, if you've documented it, it becomes a driving force behind you to go get it. Right? So that's number one. The fact that you are writing or documenting or you have a vision board doesn't mean you may achieve 100%. And the second thing is, please don't beat yourself too hard if you don't make 100. You've got to be like the Arsenal fans. For those who watch football, there is always another season. And guess what? I am an ardent supporter of Arsenal. I'm not kidding you. So yes, you can say anything you want to say. Yes, at the end of the season, we may not win the league, but we will say to ourselves, there is another season. So there will be another season, another opportunity to try again, to give it a go again. You may not achieve 100%, but the point is you will have had a compass guiding you, and all your focus, attention, energy will be directed just like a GPS. Right? If you're going from one place to another and you just put it on Google Maps, that is the idea of all we are saying. Now, let me give you about maybe 6 pointers as well, so that we may achieve, or we can achieve, exponential results in 2025. Number one, be concise, be clear, be direct, be focused on the things you want to achieve. Don't let Bemi or Abiodun Obishes or Jennifer share their dream with you, and you are looking at your own dream and you're thinking, man, I like that's her dream or his dream, and you then include it on your own vision board. No, be guided, be directed about what you want. Don't fall into the comparison trap this year. If there is one deadly trap you must avoid in 2025, it's the comparison trap. Please avoid it, right? Everyone has their own race to run. Like we say in this part of the world, day your day, focus on your focus, right? The circumstances surrounding individuals are different. And that's why I started by saying assessment, and number two, clarity. The assessment of self will be totally different from one person to another. And the clarity, the realities around us will be different. Therefore, our goals and our visions must be totally directed and concise based on our realities. If X is doing well, so some people, they've gone into Forex trading. That is what is selling right now. And then some people have gone into Bitcoin. That's what is selling right now. HR people, 3 years experience, 4 years experience. Now they have gone into consulting. You know what I mean? Take your time. Organic growth is extremely important. As a matter of fact, if you forget everything I'm saying to you today, don't forget this. Give yourself to process. Nothing beats organic growth. If you grow organically and embed your lessons of life as you go, your exponential results are assured. But if you're constantly comparing and jumping to what people are doing, every other person is doing, after a while, we won't even know who you are anymore, because you'll be a combination of everybody around you. Number two, don't forget, it is more about to be and less about as is. It is more, casting your goals for 2025 is more about to be and less about as is. What I'm saying, therefore, is we have done the exercise of assessing 2024. We have reviewed it. We have seen what didn't work. Please close that chapter. Don't go revisiting it every time as if you are going back to the past. Your energy is focused on as is if you are doing that. What you should focus on is to be. The new season, the next phase. What else? What am I going to achieve? So focus your mental energy, your financial, your physical energy, whatever you have written down, please make sure that you're focused on the future. Let the past not keep dragging you from the future that you envisage. The future is extremely more important than the past. Number 3, be strategic. And what I mean is that don't take in isolation different parts of your life when you're casting your vision for this year. Make sure that it forms a holistic vision for 2025. Your financial goal cannot be in dissonance with your mental health goals, cannot be in dissonance with your social plans or social goals, cannot be in dissonance with your physical well-being. So all the 6, 7, including spiritual, everything must be coordinated. Let's not find you all over the place. Have a strategic view to things. Don't take things in isolation. You are an entity of different parts. Make sure that all the different parts that constitute you are all moving in the right direction. Be strategic. Strategic is not just about long-term or maybe 3 years, 5 years. It's also how we coordinate every aspect of our lives. Let the goal that you are going to craft or you are going to reassess or revisit, let it be inspirational. Let it be inspirational. Let it not just inspire people around you. The first person that must be inspired is you. Make it inspirational. Don't focus on step-by-step incremental changes to your life, to your career, to your business. Focus on exponential thing. What I mean is focus on something that will scare you, even you. Realistic, but let it scare you. Scare you to the point where you are still asleep at 6:37 in the morning. You remember that big, hairy, audacious goal, and you wake up and jump up and say, hey, let's go do it again. Let it be inspirational. Inspire people around you with your goals and inspire yourself primarily. I've talked about be hard, big, hairy, audacious goal. Let it inspire you. Or let it be a wildly important goal. WILDLY. Wildly important goal. Something that even you'll be saying, I can do it, but more, I need to work harder. So it is stimulating. It is redirecting. It is focusing your energy, right? But don't forget, if you get to 80% of it or 90% of it at the end of the year, you will have done well. But don't achieve, let's use savings as an example. Maybe last year you eventually managed to save 20,000 naira from your income. And you're saying, oh, this year I'll save, I'll try and do 22,000 or 25,000. How inspirational is that? Why not say, I'll double my savings? Yes, we know you struggle to save 20. We know. But you're going to say to yourself, I'll double the savings. I could achieve that 20. In 2023, I didn't know I could achieve that 20, but I did it. This year, I'm going to double it. I'll go for 20. I'll go for 28. I'll go for 35. I'll go for 40. That is inspirational. That may scare you, but let that be your big, hairy, audacious goal. Let it empower you. Let your goals empower you. Let your vision, your overall vision for 2025, let it empower you to do more, to be more. I should say be more first. I'll prefer to say you should be more before you do more and then you achieve more. Many people in the course of trying to achieve our dreams and our goals, you know what we do? We leave ourselves behind. We seem to forget that it is only when we be more that we can do more and then achieve more. So if there's anything you want to do this year is to be more. Be more professionally. Be more in terms of financial discipline. Be more in terms of your social skills, for instance. Be more in terms of building capacity. Be more in terms of building skills. Be more in terms of building a solid network. Just be more. The more you focus on becoming, the easier it is to achieving your goals. Don't leave yourself behind. Make sure that you are empowered along this journey. And lastly, for me, I'm so conscious of time. I thought I was going to do 30 to 45 minutes. Lastly, from me, leave room for support. Leave room for support. I hear some things these days and I'm a bit worried. People say, I am enough. I am more than enough. I am sorry to disappoint you. You are not enough. You are not enough. Get support. The reason we're all here is because the universe has put all of us together so that we can be complementary resources one to another. So if you want to become withdrawn into a life of solitary confinement, keep saying to yourself that you are enough. But if you want to get the best out of life's resources, out of the available resources in the universe, let me let you know that you are not enough. Your boss needs to give to you. Your colleague at work needs to give to you. Members of your family need to give to you. Members within your professional community, they need to give to you. Maybe if you have your mentor, needs to give to you. If you have a coach, if you have something that you just admire, and believe me, if I start giving you examples of me not being enough, we'll spend another 2 hours. I started running an enterprise 3 months ago. I promise you that every job that we have done up to this moment, they've been through referrals. Every single job, 99.99%, they've been through referrals. The next 2 days that I'll be with the leadership team at IITA through referral. Last year, January, I was with them at Lakwe. This year, I wasn't even expecting that they'll call me back. I just got a message about 2 weeks ago. Why? You did this last year, let's go again. This year. So imagine me thinking that I'm enough. All I've focused on is looking at the mirror. Me, myself, and I. But if you want to get the best out of the universe, you've got to look out of the window for the opportunities that exist from building a solid network. Build skills, build competencies, build capacity, build capabilities, and by all means, build your social skills and build a solid network. And don't forget, building a solid network is not joining this platform or joining that platform. Your network is not your net worth. That's another myth that I'm debunking. Your network is not your net worth. It is the network that you give value to consistently over time that becomes your net worth. Network and network are not in terms of numbers. They are not in terms of quality. They are in terms of quality and connectedness. So you are not enough. Cast your goals, get ready, do an analysis of your goals that you have cast already or the ones you want to cast from the things I've discussed today, and also realize those pointers, 6-7 pointers that I've given you. I'm telling you that by December of 2025, we will have better stories to tell than we had in 2024. Thank you very much, everyone. This is where I'm going to stop for now.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I think I have sound issue here. Okay, thank you. That was quite an insightful 1 hour, almost an hour. Thank you very much. I believe our audience, they have quite some questions for you. So the chat room is open. You can drop your questions and YF is here to answer you before we end the session. Questions. Okay, I can see your hand up. Kayode Obasa. Okay. The floor is yours. Please unmute yourself and speak. Kayode Obasa, unmute yourself and speak.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Good
Thank
afternoon.
you, facilitator. Thank you very much. Unfortunately, I got 4 out of the 6 exponential reasons. Exponential, how to achieve exponential results. I only listed 4. 2 is missing, and I don't want to take your time to list the 4 I got. Number 1, I got the first one. I got the second one, more about to be. Then the third one, to be strategic. And then the last one, leave room for support. 2 are missing on my notes. What are the 2, please? Thank you.
The 2, I said, be inspirational in casting your vision. Let it inspire you and then inspire other people around you. And I mentioned, let your goals be big, hairy, audacious. Let it scare you. You know what I mean? It's so big, it scares you, but let it be inspirational. And then I also say, let it empower you. Don't let it scare you to the point where you become lethargic and you can't do anything anymore. You need to find that balance between it being massive, big, inspirational, but also let it not incapacitate you. Let it empower you. Those are the other 2.
Okay, this session will also be available on the pages, the Academy pages, so you can listen to it again. We'll also share it within the network as well. So there's a question here that says, do you have a network for senior professionals? You mentioned between 0 to 4 years. What about 8 to 12 years?
Yes, I do have. That is the YF network, and it's for professionals across different disciplines. HR, finance, MDs, and business people as well. It's called the YF network, and it's an ongoing networking platform. No time limit to conversations, but the YF Academy is a 6-month focused mentoring session for guys 0 to 5 years experience, and we focus on life, leadership, and career. We meet twice every week, Thursdays and Sundays, virtually, absolutely virtually, for a 6-month period. Once we are done, we move on to the next cohort. So those are the 2 networks that I have.
So I hope that clarifies it. Another question here is from Ukamaka. In reviewing 2024, you said we should ask what worked, what didn't work, what could I have done better? Please, what are the last 2 review questions?
What should I start
the
doing?
The recording will be available. People can take their time and listen to it again. But hey, YF is here, you can answer her.
What should I start doing? What should I continue doing based on what didn't work and what worked, right? What should I therefore start doing? And then what should I continue doing? So there are things to start doing, things to stop doing, things to continue doing based on what worked and what didn't work. So kind of logical. What worked, what didn't work. Based on that, so what should I therefore start doing, stop doing, continue doing?
Thank you. Thanks for that. So Odiete is asking again.
There's one from Efosa.
Efosa.
It's in bold. If I can read it, have you seen it?
It's like a comment, yes, that
Yes.
your network is not your net worth. It is the network you give value to that becomes of worth to you. This is, for me, my biggest takeaway.
Awesome.
So like,
it's not a question. Yeah. All right, got that. Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah. So Dieta is asking again, how can he join or she join your network?
Okay, so I guess you can reach out to me on any of the professional platforms in DM. But let me say that we started the YF Academy December. So we've done about 2 months already, or 6 months. So we're not admitting anyone into the academy anymore because you'll have missed out about 8 sessions already. But there'll be cohort 6. After cohort 5 ends in June, we'll take a break for a while, and then we'll start registration for Quad 6 again. But if it's the YF network, then you can reach out to me in DM. I will explain that to you.
So I would advise that you please reach out so that you can be on the wait list. Yeah. Adekoye just saying assume goal settings are based on conditions that are within one's control.
Absolutely. There is value in understanding, and that's when I talk about clarity, gaining clarity. Adekoye, there is value in understanding the things you don't have control over, but that is not where your focus should be. Your focus should be on the things you have control over. But you must understand things from a macro perspective, but drill it down to your own span of influence, rather than focusing on the things that you cannot control. Yeah. Don't hide. Want to see Yemi Faseun with me?
Yeah. Once you type in Yemi Faseun, it's going to pop up. You see.
Yeah.
Its contact is everywhere on social media as Yemi Faseun.
Yeah, just reach out, Cowdy, please reach out to me in DM on any of the social media platforms. I'm active on Instagram, on LinkedIn, and even on X as well. I'm quite active on those 3 platforms.
Any other question before we close the session? It's been over an hour of information-packed, insightful conversation with Mr. Yemi Faseun, and we are sincerely grateful. We are thankful for your time. We know how much and how of your time is worth, so we cannot thank you enough for making time to share knowledge with us. We are grateful. And thanks to everyone for joining us. The recording will be available. It will be made available within our network, within our volunteers. We have over 2,000 volunteers within our network. So some of them are not here today, but they listen to this recording. So thank you everyone for joining.
Thank you.
Mr. Faseun.
Take care. Bye-bye.
We hope to continue to have you within the NESG community, beyond the academy.
All right. That's right.
Thank you.
All right then. Take care.
Okay, thank you, sir. And bye everyone. Thank you.